Hello, Disney friends, and welcome back to This Week at Walt Disney World. I'm Sam from Sam's Disney Diary, and joining me, as always, the blue-haired blogger himself from Fantasyland News, Greg. It's January the 21st. I'm fresh back from Walt Disney World, hanging out with you, hanging out with Holly. That was awesome. I absolutely loved it, and there's so much going on. Well, where do we start?
First off, man, you literally just walked in your door right as we started.
I did, and I got home, dude. I made my way home. I got Figment. He made the trip.
He did
with the
wand.
With the it's not a wand, it's a paintbrush.
You know what's great? I literally had this look. So I have all these paintbrushes from Disney that they've handed us over the years. I was like, oh, I have the same type of paintbrush. But meanwhile, Figment is sitting back up there. If you follow my own paintbrush, he's up there.
He's big. He's hard to travel with.
Massive, and he is the exact same one we got years ago, just with a hat, a beret, if you will. Let's go with a beret. Is that a beret? It's a beret.
I like it. You know, the only complaint I have, Greg, the only complaint I have is it comes with this.
Why does it look all damaged?
The popcorn has been through some things here.
Pre-packaged. You get
pre-packaged some things. I'm just saying, I don't like this rainbow popcorn, the colored kettle corn mix. I would rather have just plain popcorn. Hello, Lily. Yeah, the Figment's good. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I got him.
It tastes horrible. It's pre-packaged popcorn. Go to your movie theater, get a good popcorn bucket, fresh popcorn that you can refill. That's what you need.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. By the way, welcome back. I feel bad for you some days that you have to start this show by telling me to shut up for 3 seconds, which is not easy for me to do.
Well, you're just to do that so when I hit the go live button, you're not yapping in the background. Which
what you don't want. You don't want my cursing to go live on air, because when I'm on air,
I say that, but occasionally that would be the
human case. Being, and then when I'm behind the scenes, I talk like a sailor from Philly. Here's what I want to know, and I didn't mean to bring this up. Now we're talking. I didn't mean to bring this up. How angry were you that Pittsburgh lost the other day?
It wasn't unexpected, so I'm not going to say I'm angry, because you didn't go into it thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to win this. That was not the feeling, so no big deal.
Sam, question for you real quick before we get this started. On the screen, what arcade cabinets do you have?
Oh, yes.
One day we have to talk about Sam's restoration of 3 pinball machines.
Yes, they're back there. They're behind my side, all 3 of them.
Yeah. Sam got bored during the pandemic. Yeah, and 3 pinball games. And by the way, I need to find Medieval Madness. If you ever find Medieval Madness or Mars Attacks, I loved.
I don't disagree. I'm still looking for a few myself, but anyway.
So today, my friend, might as well get this show started. We're going to talk Disney Lorcana. We're going to talk EPCOT Festival of the Arts.
Yes.
Sam, you were down here for it. I was
confused about some things, and I'm going to ask you to clarify.
Yeah, we'll talk about, obviously, Figment, Popcorn Bucket, Once Upon a Stage, Disney on Broadway. We'll talk about the Broadway shows. We'll talk about the Lorcana. They have 2 different scavenger hunts, trading card game they have going on. We'll talk about some of the artists. Then we're going to move over and talk about more on this Star Wars Galaxy's Edge transformation and change that's going on. We have some brand new information that everybody's going to want to know about. What else do we have today, Sam? We got a new Muppet magnet we're going to talk about that's not only new to you and I.
We are starting our list of Muppets that should have made the cut but didn't.
Yeah. And then more. And then at some point, we're just going to talk about things. So let's talk about it.
We got lots to talk about. There's so much happening down there. All that and more coming up in just a minute. All right, Greg, welcome back. And I finally got to see some of those comments there. Captain Mickey Mouse, thanks so much for joining. And yes, that is Secret Service, Cybernaut, and Atlantis, the pinball machines behind me, all a project of COVID, redoing them, taking out all the bulbs, making them LEDs. I learned a lot about that. In fact, you have to wax those surfaces every once in a while, Greg. How about that?
Do you?
Yeah,
I would
with car
imagine you
wax.
guys keep. I mean, even if they are under glass, you still have to clean all the surfaces because
Oh, absolutely. And the little bounce things get
you got to
they're
grease all
basically
the
fancy
pieces.
rubber bands, but they wear out.
They do wear out. I can't. You know what? I can't wait for. I can't wait for us to talk about Garden Rocks this year.
We're
Oh,
going to, but we're saving that for
know.
last because it's
I
so
know.
big and so huge.
Oh yeah, I can't.
First, I want to remind everybody, because you and I talked about this extensively last week. Tomorrow is the premiere of Disneyland Handcrafted on Disney Plus. I am set up, ready to watch it. As you said, Greg, biggest screen, best sound system that we got. Make sure we're in front of it. Sit down, block out 75 minutes. Maybe I'll fill up Figment with popcorn. I think that would
Real
be
popcorn.
with real popcorn, not that other stuff. It's
Yeah,
just,
I can't wait for people to see this. I can't wait for this to watch this again. It was really nice to see the Walt Disney Company put up a little bit more information about this. Like, I can write a ton about the documentary on this and how much I loved it.
yeah.
But it's really nice to see that Disney and Leslie Iwerks and Jason Recker are kind of out there talking about the other people who made this happen. Like, people don't realize Don Hahn had a hand in making this. Tony Baxter had a hand in doing this. Pete Docter from Pixar. There were so many more people involved in this than what we've been talking about.
All those
This
names.
became the Walt Disney Company project. That's how big this is, and it is worth seeing. It's worth spending your time. 75 minutes. You block it off. Best sound system. I'm telling you. You want to have a good audio, and you just don't want distraction around you for the first 65 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Greg. And the names you mentioned, Don Hahn and Pete Docter, those guys are historians themselves. When you look at the fact that Don Hahn was part of the Happiest Place on Earth 70th anniversary book that was just published, and Pete Docter did documentaries and has written books about Mark Davis and the contributions that he made to both the animation and to Disneyland and Disney World. It's amazing, some of those people back there.
What's great is, and we can talk about Tony Baxter for hours. First off, he's
absolutely.
going to be at Festival of the Arts coming up, I think, next weekend for 3 days.
Yes.
But more importantly, his contribution to Imagineering. Apparently, he used to host parties, like Disney movie parties, and would invite all these main people over to watch it, like Pete Docter, Don Hahn, Leslie Iwerks, and he would show these silent videos from the creation of Disneyland. Like, so this really came from him, and
keeping those things around. Yeah.
Parties. How cool would that be? You're just sitting around and like Tony Baxter calls. He's like, "All right, guys, I'm going to be hosting. Bring over some."
Dude, it's reminiscent of some things that Walt had done in his life, where he has animators over in his swimming pool in Beverly Hills, and it's amazing to me.
It is, and it keeps this Disneyland Handcrafted keeps its tradition of that going, and I'm really impressed with how this is done. So, yeah, go watch it tomorrow. It is due on Disney Plus and also for free on Disney YouTube channel, which is
even better. Yeah. Now, something else Disney dropped that we did not know was coming tomorrow. And as a Star Wars fan, I can't wait to see this, but we're getting a teaser trailer tomorrow for Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord, which is an animated series that they announced at Star Wars Celebration last year that would be coming. But this is going to follow Darth Maul, and we'll find out what really happened to him.
We finally have information about
him in half.
Maul before all that stuff, or after all that stuff. After the Clone Wars, we're going to tease. I just can't wait for this. Like this, and if you had watched any of the Star Wars Visions season 3, there's something called The Ninth Jedi coming out.
Yes.
And 2 amazing works, and the animation style looks really good. As Clone War fans, I'm all in for this. And go to StarWars.com. You can see that they have a whole blog about just Darth Maul, and it goes into really in depth on his back character. I think that's
Which
cool.
is cool.
Coming up
Which is
tomorrow,
cool.
I do want to mention one more thing, Sam, just to make my childhood proud that I talked about this as an adult. He-Man,
Absolutely.
the Masters of the Universe trailer drops tomorrow.
Oh, who is that? Warner
For
Brothers?
5
Who's
years.
He-Man?
This is Prime Video is working on it
Amazon
with
Prime.
MGM.
With MGM. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm all about He-Man.
I have the power. I'm very familiar with the
Did
cartoon.
you have any He-Man action figures?
I did not. I
Okay.
had all of the Star Wars action figures. I had a
Right.
younger brother that had all the He-Man stuff. So yes,
I was a Transformers guy and then a He-Man guy. And you
I
know what I never liked when like they would cross over. I was never like Transformers and GI Joe together. Like no, you GI Joe stay in your GI Joe land with Cobra. Soundwave and Optimus need to stay in their Cybertron, right? I don't need Thundercats showing up with She-Ra. Panthro, you stay there.
They didn't do any of those.
Over
there. That what you just described is something that happens all the time these days on the Disney Channel. Right. But and it happens all the time, and they seem to have success with it, right? It goes back.
I mean, obviously they had success 40 years ago doing
on deck with I forget how it went, but there were a whole bunch when my kids were
Finn and Ferb are doing crossovers with High School Musical and Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah, but Phineas and Ferb get to do whatever they want. I'm good with that.
Well, they deserve it. No, what's great is, and it was we kind of mentioned this last year. Asad Aiz is taking over as head of all marketing and content for Disney. And he's the one who makes everything synergistic, right? So he's the one who says, yeah, you know what, Sharpay from High School Musical, I want you to show up on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. 2 shows that don't exist anymore. I just brought them back. Thank you very much.
I remember that. The Sweet Life on Deck, something.
Yeah, you got it.
Anyway, well, we'll get to that later because, by the way, we don't have it in here, but you and I both recently wrote blogs about February on Disney Plus, and there's a 20th anniversary Hannah Montana stream that's going to be starting. That's going to have all the Hannah Montana, all the movies, all that stuff, and yeah.
Wait. So I have to add to that because you can't just leave it there. There is going to be celebrations all year with Hannah Montana. Right. Yeah. And Miley Cyrus herself has said you may even see her don the wig one more time this year.
That's cool.
That's cool. I mean, come on. After all that woman has been through, I am happy to see her. Look, it's Disney. It's like, look, nobody ever says I will never return to the WWE, right? There's always a secret character coming in at number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Disney does the same thing. Right.
You're right.
You're right. You never really leave the Disney family. You're just you may be put on the back burner. You're on the bench, but you're coming back at some point. That's right. But other 20th anniversaries, High School Musical, my friend. And I think you and I are going to have to find the video you have because I know you have some video about.
Oh, yes, I do. Musical. I have more than one. Well, you asked me the question, did they do anything in the parks? And absolutely they did. There was and I got some interesting stories around it. It was a High School Musical sort of traveling show at Hollywood Studios. It would come out at the front. It would function as a parade, make its way back for a little while, all the way to the back lot on Streets of America, where it would stop and they would have a show of sorts, and then it would parade back up to the front. And then later it would stop right in front of the Sorcerer's Hat when it was there, right? So my video is the Sorcerer's Hat. But it was kind of cool. They'd blast the music and everybody had the basketballs and they had little routines that they went through.
Yeah, they had the step dancing. Everybody got their head in the game.
Everybody got their head in the game.
High School Musical 20th anniversary is going on. If you paid attention to Disney Channel's Instagram or Disney Music, it was inundated with High School Musical stuff yesterday. But I think we're going to save that for later this year.
Yeah, we'll save that for another show.
Deep dive High School Musical. And
you got it.
I'm going to now spend time learning about High School Musical because my wife called me out on writing about it. And she was like, you have no clue what you're writing about. And I was like,
yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Well, you were doing other things. I was
doing music. I was on the road.
Merchandise all over Festival of Arts. A stylized type of a Figment who's on the lounge flies and on the spirit jerseys and the mugs and the pins and the all that kind of stuff. So of course there's merch everywhere. We're not going to focus too much on that because there's other cool things to talk about.
Right, but what I do want to mention about the merch, because I'm not a merch guy, but it's Figment. It's everything you could think of. Pins.
This is Figment's festival. Come on, this is his festival. It is.
What's really cool this year is, and they started a festival or two ago, is you can go on DisneyStore.com and you can find almost all of the Festival of the Arts merchandise online.
That is cool.
Yeah. Look, even my wife just called me out on that.
On merchandise or on High School Musical?
My children were obsessed with High School Musical.
Oh yeah, as were mine.
Yeah.
And as a parent, to look back and go, oh my God, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Caleb watched it when it first came out too, man.
There you go.
See, I'm telling you,
watched it
we're deep diving High School Musical in 2 weeks.
I didn't watch it when it first came out, but if you remember back to 20 years ago, this thing played and it was so big that it was like on every night and sometimes multiple times a night. And at some point in time, I had to be like, okay, what is she singing here? Let's sit down and watch this. And I did. And okay, this is fine. And to me, it was Grease for a new generation. It still kind of is.
Just minus all the innuendo from Grease.
What it's different. No, but I get it. I get it. Anyway.
Dude, I don't think any. Have you seen Grease?
Yes, I have.
Yes. Now watch that again as an adult, and you're just like, whoa.
No, I get it.
Why does every parent like you have to watch Grease? I don't want to see Tony Schnicky trying to bone my daughter. I'm sorry.
All right, let's go on to Brush with the Masters here.
Tony Schnicky. That's my new musical name.
This is one of the scavenger hunts that they have. They have more than one. I wanted to touch on this one. I know that over at fantasylandnews.com, you have two blogs typically. One is all of the spoilers on exactly where to find these things. And another one is not so much a spoiler, but just kind of hints. So you can
That's exactly it, Sam. We do go through the whole brush with the Figments, brush with the Masters. It's one of my favorite things to do first thing in the festival in the morning, because you can walk around World Showcase and not a lot of people are there between 9 and 11. Grab yourself. The map costs $11.99 this year. You do get one of 4 rewards this year, but you're basically going around looking for Figment images around World Showcase. And
this is only around World Showcase, right?
Only around World Showcase.
Now you can see the countries here, and you have to find him in the paintings.
And the painting can be anywhere in each pavilion. I'm not going to give it away here.
They're not in the same place, right?
Yeah, go to fantasylandnews.com and there's all the spoilers. If you want them. If you don't want spoilers, you can just look at the images. And the article is broken up so that you don't go through past a certain point to find the spoilers. But yeah, it's really easy to find these. Well, it's not easy to find them. They are located in each pavilion. All you got to do, best bet, is look for the Figment frame.
Yep.
Every frame will have a little cutout of, or not a cutout, but a gold Figment somewhere on the frame. And it's pretty cool. Makes it much easier to see. So yeah. I'm with you, Caleb. I missed that also. So yeah, go around World Showcase. This is one of the best parts. You do this in the morning. You do this. You do the chalk walk, the chalk walk all at the same time. And that way you can see all the chalk that is around each pavilion.
Which by the way, one of the pictures images that I picked here. Yeah. Maybe I was wrong. I thought I had one that also had, never mind.
Yeah.
This is the completer though. I did want to talk about that. What you get when you're finished.
So instead of a paint by numbers, it's more of a sticker by numbers this year.
Okay.
Now, if you could figure out what that form is, you could probably put it together pretty easily with the stickers they give you. But it's one of 4.
There's one of 4. Each of these is different. Okay, this is 4 different ones. It's not a set with all of them.
Yep. We picked the one with Figment on and Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, that's sort of the this one down here, you mean?
Yes.
This one? Yeah. Got it. All right, looks cool. And there's another look at those from along with one of the merchandise bags that they have this year. Lots of things that they've got.
Lots of things.
Let's talk about this thing right here that I got. So I was there 3 days. I got myself 3 of these. This is a Lorcana card pack thingy. Here's what I know, Greg. I could not believe the amount of people that were around this distribution center, which was right when you cross into World Showcase from World Celebration. People everywhere with their books of cards that are trading them, that are doing things, and you got to help me understand.
It wasn't just on the bridge at World Celebration.
Well, that's where the distribution was, and that's where there were. And by the way, they were running out at 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning.
They ran out at 11:30. Yeah, it was crazy. There is a few things that are going on in this. First, I have to say, this is absolutely one of the best things Disney has done inside the parks with their other collaborations with Ravensburger, who puts out the Lorcana cards. As a family who has collected Pokemon cards throughout the years, if this was Pokemon, we would be going crazy and say that this is the greatest thing they've ever done. It's Lorcana. We don't collect Lorcana as much, but it's still, for those who do, this has got to be one of the greatest things that you could do inside of a Disney park. You pick up a pack of cards at the distribution center, 1 pack per day. Then you go off of, and you have 2 different things. You can either go on the collector's quest or you can go on the ink and find scavenger hunt. The collector's quest is you are trying to find 4 cards in your booklet, and I'm going to open up my booklet now, Sam, and show you.
I have one here too.
I'll go ahead and spotlight you. Each booklet has 4 cards in there, and you are trying to collect these 4 cards. Now, you are not going to get them all in 1 pack. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go and talk to other guests that are around, or go to the Illumineers Lounge in Morocco, and you're going to have to
get there in a minute.
Others to collect these all 4. So you're going to have to talk to other people or find the board in the back, which we'll talk about in a minute. The main thing, though, is we're going to talk about, what you see the card on your screen is called the Ink and Find Quest.
That's this thing, right? Inside the book, there were these stickers that it came
with.
And this is my pack of cards, and there's a different character on each of the packs. And
all right, so if you pull up your sticker book, here, I have it right here. You have your sticker book, and you have your sticker where your stickers go. Right?
Oh, okay.
So 1 sticker goes to 1 spot, and you can go to China, Germany, Japan, France, and the cards are there. In France, there you go. You can see the chalk art on that one.
That's I'll go back there. You can see the Mary Poppins ducks in the chalk art that are.
So you'll see that's Belle right there, and each one has an ink or a color associated with that card. So you would take that sticker and place it on.
So this one happens to be the purple, which is on
amethyst
here. So I could do the first thing here and basically take the purple and put it on France.
You could.
Spoiler alert. I'm putting the purple on France, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Amethyst.
I'm back in Pennsylvania.
10 of these cards are around World Nature, World Celebration, World Discover, and then around the World Showcase. Right?
Got it.
There.
So when you complete this quest, you get all of these filled out, and they're in the right order. Are you getting this Rapunzel, or what happens?
Correct. You get the Rapunzel.
I should have got a Rapunzel. I just didn't do it.
And then if you complete Collector's Quest, you get Donald Duck.
Okay, so all right, let's go back into Morocco, because Morocco, which was the Florida blue thing for a while, when it hasn't been really anything.
Restaurant Marrakesh for many years.
That's where we're going. It's Restaurant Marrakesh, and inside of Restaurant Marrakesh, that's where you can get that Rapunzel card if you're done.
You can trade in when your Ink and Find is done, or the Collector's Quest. You go in there, trade in your booklet, and they will
taking my booklet. I'm not giving them that. They're not just going to
stamp it. The booklet. They stamp the booklet. There's a little stamp.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You trade in. You get either your Donald Duck or Rapunzel card. And then the whole lounge. Look, it's decorated. If you don't want to talk to people, And I know some kids out there do not, and whether it's an autistic thing or a neurodivergent thing. Some people don't like dealing with other people. Sam, I don't like dealing with other people. I
I've
can
learned
go
that.
back there and you can go to the board they have it to
Look,
trade your cards, and people are picking cards that they need and replacing it with cards that other people want.
this is pin trading. I mean, I looked at this. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Lorcana pin board. And
It's
trade your card, take a card,
brilliant.
give a card.
Yep. Here's the problem though, Sam, and I get it, and I'm not saying anything negative about it. I absolutely understand this. There is 3 special cards that collectors can get from EPCOT during Festival of the
From
Arts.
these packs. So there's only 3 cards, and it's we talked about them last week, but if I'm correct, Greg, it is these 3 cards right here, right?
Correct. Stitch
Okay.
being what everybody wants. You can only get Stitch if you buy their box of Lorcana cards. So you can get 2 of the 3 for free.
In one of these packs, that they gave away. Is there anything special in this pack that says that it's from EPCOT or anything like that?
No. There's got to be something.
It just says Lorcana, trading cards, 12 game cards.
And look, you end up with a ton of Lorcana cards. So if you are actually
there's a dozen cards inside this pack. They gave me a dozen a day. I was there 3 days.
If you're a collector, it's great. I haven't seen anybody pull anything over like a ultra rare in there. So I think this is done just for EPCOT.
So how many cards are in the set? That's how little I know about this.
2 billion. With
as many as they want to print. It's not like they're numbered 1 to 2.
How many Disney characters are there?
So what you're saying is it's not like my baseball cards where they're numbered from 1 to 300, and I go and try to find them all.
There are a certain amount of cards per set. Look, again, it starts getting out of my my knowledge zone, and I don't want to misspeak on it.
Got it. I think that it will be interesting.
You want to talk about Pokemon cards? I can go through Pokemon cards.
Well, but the gameplay, is it similar to that? And I mean, you're collecting these cards, but the reality is this is a game that you can play.
A reality is it's a trading card game that you can play against an opponent, and it's apparently the rules are really well laid out. There is a learning curve on there, obviously, but yeah, I mean, they just had the Masters, or they just had one of their big East Coast conventions recently where they just crowned a new winner.
A new champion.
Yeah, champion. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes, I saw the blog, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. But you can see here, it looks like there's people sitting at some of these tables. I mean, there's people with their book of cards that would trade with you. This is the card rack in the background there that everybody's looking at. It looks like people are playing the game.
And I'm going to be Greg for a second. There's also creepy guys walking around in there like that. Literally, we're sitting around going, you want to make content? You want to make content? Content? You play? Let's make content together. Are you an influencer? Of all things, sir, I am not an influencer. Please. I do not want to make content with you about Lorcana.
I went in. I did not make it long in there because I didn't know what was happening. If I had known, I probably would have tried to finish that quest and get that Donald card or whatever you said was back there. But
look, Scott put up there. He's got deep into collecting and playing Magic. I love Magic.
God, I'm with you, dude. I'm scared. I got my card.
There's
I don't want to open it.
Look, when I can finally get my hands on that My Little Pony Magic the Gathering set, I'll play again.
Look,
you laugh, Sam. You laugh. I want Pinkie Pie.
I get it, but to Scott's point, I got pins all over the place. I got Vitalmations all over the place. I got Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom cards all over the place. I got all this stuff, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if this comes back next year. And let me tell you why, Greg. One of the stores, when you cross over in the World Showcase, you know, what used to be the Duffy store on the left. I don't know what that thing's called over there. But in that store, they were selling the set that you're talking about.
That's
where you could
traders.
Is that what it's called? You could buy the set that had that Stitch card in it, and you could complete your thing.
Yeah.
They had all of the merchandise out of there, and they had, you know how classic Disney does it. They put the tape on the ground for the switchbacks to stand in line. Greg, there was nobody in that line. There were maybe 3 people that were trying to buy the cards. Now, either they were out of them and there were none left, or they weren't selling
so many over the last 2 days. Now, remember, they were running out of cards by 11 a.m.
So they have so many packs that they're giving out every day. And you're absolutely right. By 11 a.m., they were gone.
I would say the same thing was happening with the massive packs also.
They were selling out. So when I got there, they were sold out. Nobody's waiting in line because
we witnessed on opening day thousands of people going through boxes and trading and stuff. This was so I'm going to go back again tomorrow. And I'll tell you what it looks like on a non-holiday weekend on a Thursday.
And it's not opening weekend. And that's great to know because this was a holiday weekend, which, let's be honest, that's why I was there. It was an extra day in the weekend. I'm going to take advantage of it. And
I'm interested to see what it looks like on a non-holiday. I really am. And I have a feeling I'm going to walk in there and it's still going to be packed with Lorcana traders.
I can't wait to see what
happens. If not, so the family goes up there and goes, "What's this?"
Yeah.
And they learn about it, and next thing you know, these people are hooked on trading and
which gets back to Scott's comment. I don't want to open the pack. And if there are Star Wars cards in there, don't tell me about it because I don't want.
You and I should collect the Star Wars cards.
Nope.
You and I should do pack opening of Star Wars. Did you know? Just so you know, with Topps, right? Yeah. They have elite boxes.
Look, I got my Blue Series originals from 1977, a full set, and I'm good.
No, we need to get the good ones. They're like gold 1-of-1s that are signed and autographed.
I know what you're talking about.
See these cards. They are amazing.
I know. I completely
Star Wars Chrome from Topps, dude.
I get it. Like I said, I got my Blue Series, the original cards, the blue and the yellow and the red. I got my blue, and when I go back and look at it, I'm like, these cards are so beat up and used. And you know why? Because I loved them when I was a kid, and I wouldn't want them any other way.
What was your favorite to put in your bicycle spokes?
I didn't put them on my bicycle spokes, but we definitely flipped them.
Yeah.
Remember flipping cards? Do you do that?
Do I remember?
Yeah. You just keep flipping them, and you see if you're both, whoever's heads up, the only one that's heads up gets the stack.
Yeah.
You flip the cards, and if you tie, you just keep flipping and flipping, and big stacks sometimes.
Yeah, man.
Never put them in
a lot of baseball cards. But anyway, moving on. Art.
Moving on to so look, there's a couple other things I got there too. I'll get back to it. The artists are what I love to see going around World Showcase or even in the front. This is all of EPCOT, and just being able to talk to the artists, see what they're doing, ask them questions about their inspiration or their painting techniques. They have the whole I got to turn that down. I'm sorry. The Trevor Carlton does his painting experience where he's dancing to music and painting whoever. In this case, it was Minnie Mouse. The art in performance, I think, is what they call it. But it's kind of cool to just watch a blank canvas turn into a Disney character. It's something that I watch every year. I just think it's cool to watch that happen.
Sir, what is your inspiration for making Minnie Mouse? Well,
here's a good example. And I forget this lady's name, but she's painting Pinocchio. And by the way, it was cold. There was a threat of rain, and they're still standing up there
so
painting.
Cold.
But
this was the coldest weekend ever.
Yeah. Why Pinocchio? And, she explained that it's the originals, the old school, the Pinocchios and the Dumbos and those original animation styles. And those are the things that she loves. And you'll find other artists that are just doing their thing all around World Showcase. And that to me is what the Festival of Arts is all about.
Yeah. It's look, it's called Festival of the Arts, not Festival of Figment.
Yeah, that's right. So here's the Zootopia chalk art.
This guy was great. We stopped by a few times watching him do this. And it was great to see that the sun, the shadows are actually part of it.
Yes, absolutely. It's cool because that makes it when you stand where you're supposed to stand and then you take a picture. I mean, it looks like he's standing on one of the buildings looking down at the characters, but he's painting the. It's
Yeah.
interesting when you watch the video here, Greg, versus seeing the picture that was taken because
Right.
when he's moving the brush, it kind of ruins the effect, but it's just neat.
Love it.
It's neat. All right, Disney on Broadway. Let's talk about this. The exhibit that they had back for the second year. Dude, I thought it was phenomenal.
Well done. Well done. Upgrade from the first year.
Which is amazing to think because we talked all last year that it was the new standard for EPCOT festivals and what they do in Communicore Hall. And every other festival was disappointing in my eyes because I compared it to the Disney on Broadway.
Right.
Which, by the way, you had an interesting story about this genie lamp, which for a while had been displayed on is it the New Amsterdam Theater in New York?
Amsterdam Theater in New York City.
Like this was outside of it, on top of the marquee.
Yeah, and it smokes and it does all its thing. And yeah, they brought it down. Once they brought it down, it is considered a museum piece. So to move around the museum pieces, you need to make sure it's extra insured.
Sure.
And you can't just throw this on the back of a trailer. This now has to be boxed up. It has to be perfectly set because insurance is now covering it. So you have to do your job of making sure it is safe. So yeah, they had to transport it almost directly into that spot off a truck
from
for
New York.
It to be there. From
so
New York.
A museum piece, does that mean this is part of the Disney archives that they brought out?
No, so Disney on Broadway Museum is different than the archives.
I did not know that.
I don't know who officially owns Disney on Broadway, but their museum has nothing to do with archives.
Okay. I was not aware of that.
And I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
This is inside of the exhibit. Lots of mannequins with costumes. And by the way, the performers that perform in the evening will tell you those are the actual costumes that we wore. I mean, that is from The Little Mermaid and from Hercules.
Right. We got to sit in with a panel that morning with the stars playing. And see, I think it was Sierra Borges, Jelani was there, Adam Jacobs was there, and Isabella. And they told us, they were like, look, that's the original Aladdin suit Adam Jacobs wore when he started the role as Aladdin on Disney on Broadway. That's really her. That was her Jasmine outfit when she was on. Sierra Borges was like, I wore that Little Mermaid costume on stage many nights. And that's the wig that goes along with it. The one thing I want to say about this truly is the Disney on Broadway people came in and they had their technicians help work with the Disney Imagineering inside Communicore Hall. So the lighting is so much better. The audio is upgraded. Everything about this just is better this year. There's some technical aspects they show. Like, look, right now you're looking at The Lion King.
Yes.
Jelani was played Simba in The Lion King. Like, they have the actual Pride Rock from the show is inside of Communicore Hall right now. This is what Communicore Hall needs to be all year long.
Agreed.
These dresses are
Belle's dresses from Beauty and the Beast, and all of them, whether it was her the blue one or the yellow one, that's how I see them, Greg. I don't know how you see them, but
Evening Robert.
I know my daughter and my wife have different names for these. I'm sure Holly's yelling at me right now, but I see a blue dress and a ballroom gown. There you go.
A ballroom gown. One is the ballroom gown. One is the other gown. Then the other is one's the provincial dress. Right.
Got it. Thank you.
That's the first one. But anyway, and then they go behind the scenes. Like, Sam, I don't know how many concerts I've worked, and there was a stage manager calling the show.
Absolutely.
And
in your ear.
In my ear, going, we're going to this. And I'd be like, shut up. Stop talking to me. I hate you. And he would still be calling the show. And I'm like, I know the show better than anybody else. But you're still listening to him, and you're still going 3, 2, 1, go. And that's what they show here.
What I loved about this, and by the way, I have to edit some videos for Sam's Disney Diary. I will get them up there. There was a view of the back. I don't think I have it here. No, I don't
No.
have it. There, it was a backstage view that you're talking about, and they
Yeah.
showed the stage manager. But I loved that they showed the stage from the side, and then all of the camera angles that were watching the performers, and it was all synchronized together like it was happening in front of you, and it was the coolest thing ever to watch.
Yep.
Sort of the Beauty and the Beast cast take their bows at the end and walk off stage, and you could see where they were going and how backstage was
Yep. And
working.
it felt
really
like
cool.
you were sitting on the side of the stage with them. How
It did.
cool was
It
that?
absolutely did.
Yep.
Felt like you had a backstage access pass around your neck and you were just standing there watching from stage side. And it
Yeah.
really showed a lot of what was happening. And even in this case, some of the makeup that goes into it. How long does it take to get somebody ready to be Scar or somebody else in the show? It's just really cool.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. The whole thing is just well done.
Absolutely
And then,
well
of
done.
course, the concert series is going on right now.
It is.
You filmed
I
both
got two of them
sets.
because I was there on the 18th or 17th and 18th. So I got both
So
of these.
it's switching night by night. So this
Yes.
the first few nights is Adam Jacobs and Isabella McCall are doing that, and they do a great they do some newsy stuff. They do
They all
she
mix it up.
sings the heck out there by Hunchback from Hunchback of Notre Dame, while he does the Aladdin song Dad Knows Best or something, I think, whatever that is, that he's really famous for. And then the next night is Jelani Remy and Sierra Borges.
Yeah, and I was able to get, and they go back and forth. So it's kind of, they have four people, they pair them up, and one goes on Monday, the other one on Tuesday, then back to the first one Wednesday, Thursday. They do it for a week, except for the very end, Greg, because at the very end, I believe, are they still doing their concert with all four of them when it's Ashley Brown and Susan Egan, and that's quite the lineup there.
Yeah, James from No Able Heart, which we will be at because he's actually in Has Been Hotel, which is my daughter's favorite show right now.
Oh, that's cool.
It is very adult oriented. If you have kids, do not put Has Been Hotel on. If you're an adult, go watch Has Been Hotel.
Got it.
Oh my gosh.
Look, Ashley Brown, I've seen her there before. She's the original Mary Poppins on Broadway. Absolutely amazing. Susan Egan, who is the voice of Meg in Hercules and was also the first, I'm blanking on her Disney on Broadway. Somebody's going to remind me. I'm sorry. I blanked on it. I missed it. Anyway, Disney on Broadway, cool. Followed on by the concerts themselves.
It's just a great concert. It's a good vibe. There's seats to be found. You don't need to stand out there the whole time.
Especially when it's cold out. It was cold this weekend.
I got there. So I was lucky enough to be invited for the media preview.
Right.
And we had to be there at 7:30 a.m. And
yeah,
it was
good luck with that one, man. I was not.
7 degrees when I walked into EPCOT that day. It was the coldest day I've ever felt in Florida.
Well, 27 will do that to you.
In Florida.
Difference
27 for you, you're like, whatever.
Well, you still got to be prepared for it, right? You got to be dressed. I had my beanie and my gloves and two sweatshirts, so I was okay with it. But the difference is, and this is what I'm seeing, especially the last day that I was there, because you were like, man, it's too cold. And I'm like, I'm here. I have to go. I feel like I have to go. So I'm just going to bundle up, stick it out, and I'm going. But if you're local, I can see why staying home would make a heck of a lot of sense.
I did kind of ditch you that last day, and I felt bad for about 5 minutes.
It's okay. I told you don't worry about it.
I walked my dog, and I went, no, I am not going outside. Because for me to go out means I would have to put on long johns and then a pair of pants and then something on top of that and then a shirt and then a hoodie and then a jacket and then something else and hat and gloves. Like in Florida, you can't just go out in this and be like, I'm fine. No, you have no cold blood in you. You are frozen.
I get it. I was okay, but I had my hat on and my gloves. And
there you go. Susan Egan, by the way, was Belle.
Thank you. She was the first Belle on Broadway.
Yeah. And then Holly,
she would have
of course,
been an amazing Mother Gothel, by the way, for the live action Tangled that they're right now casting. But anyway, I did want to point out one other thing, Greg, because the day that you did ditch me, not that you ditched me, I'm absolutely fine with it. I was able to pull off a lot because that was Martin Luther King Day. That was the Monday. And I went to EPCOT by myself, right? I got my pack of cards. Then I immediately went to Test Track single rider line.
Right.
Very cool. By the way, my first experience on Test Track 3.0, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I missed all of the queue because I was single rider line, but that's okay.
The queue's nothing to write home about.
I would say it didn't look like it was. It looked like a lot of switch where you can see down inside. It looked like a lot of switchbacks where you used to have the programmable things.
Yep.
That's what it looked like. So I did that. Then, Greg, I went back to Remy, and I did single rider line for Remy. And kudos to the 2D changes at Remy. Absolutely. It takes nothing away from that attraction. Everything looked great. Even when Gaston comes up at the beginning of it, he's projected. He looks like he's three-dimensional because it's projected in front of the background. I got no problem with any of those changes. I applaud those changes.
Have I seen Starlight Parade in person? I have seen Starlight Parade a plethora of times. More than 10, less than 100.
It's good. I've seen it maybe twice. I think it's good. I loved it.
Starlight is a great addition at nighttime. It was well needed. It's well needed. The problem is the music. It's another thing where it's very sometimes Disney. I love it, and I'm going to say I love it with a caveat of I can hum Happily Ever After. I can hum Wishes. I can hum Festival of Fantasy. I can't remember the song from Starlight. That's the only bad.
While it's playing, it fits. But you're right. You can't really.
Yeah. And look, it's having that at nighttime. Man, light up that park. It's beautiful. It's well done.
By the way, Greg, after leaving Epcot, I jumped on the Skyliner and went over to Studios. Grabbed the Ronto wrap, which was what I had. All the food that's available in World Showcase, all the outdoor kitchens and the festival food, I still wanted a Ronto wrap, so that's what I got. And I did Rise of Resistance single rider line. First time I've done that.
Yeah, and that's quick, man. That's like 20 minutes. If it says 85, you're in 20. Scott says he was surprised at how good Remy looks in 2D.
Yes, agree completely. I'm glad you got the rider, Scott, because you did before me, and I thought it was great. 2D was awesome. No problem. So the single rider line for I'm debating if it was your first time riding, I don't think I would put somebody in a single rider line for Rise of Resistance because you missed some of the pre-shows. You basically cut through some back ways within the building and you come out right inside of the Stormtrooper room and then you join the line from there. But it did cut the line.
You don't miss the story. You miss the Q story.
You missed the Q story. You missed the Ray in the room recruiting people, and then you miss the
But you also don't miss having to be stuck inside of like a very small space with some smelly people.
Yeah. I was good with it. It worked well. Then I went to Rock and Roller Coaster, and the single ride line was not open. So that was the only disappointing thing.
Yeah, that's the you look. Sometimes they will be open, sometimes they will not.
I was happy that Rise was open, so it was good.
Yeah, I'll take a Ronto wrap any day of the week. I love me a Ronto wrap.
Yeah, I get that.
Not the breakfast one though. That is evil.
Oh, I saw that on the menu, and I did not know what it was.
It's not well. Okay, I will one day when you're here. We'll go there for breakfast instead of. So Sam likes to have cake for breakfast when he visits.
And I would have if they had the cake.
They did not have the rainbow cake this year. It was
they did not have the rainbow cake. It was
strawberry gelati, something. Anyway,
they had another cake, which was it was one of those things where what I got, this little tiny multicolored bundt cake with some Skittles on the top. I forget what it was called.
Why does everything have Skittles? Why is everything got dried freeze Skittles right now?
Because Figment makes them with this paintbrush.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did you just give Figment more of a backstory?
I think I did.
Good for him. He needed. Look, I'm saying he just needed something added to it.
This, look, it's got all the colors on it. When you turn this thing on, it's got all the colors of the rainbow. So clearly, this is how he makes the green.
Yeah. Taste his rainbow.
Hey, you got yesterday, I think it was last evening, to DVC Moonlight Magic
I
at
feel like I
Animal.
should have my wand also. I'm just going to use this paintbrush.
How was Moonlight Magic other than being cold over at Animal Kingdom?
Dude, it was cold, man. Like, again, not built for it. I know people are like, what a wuss. I lived in Philly my whole life, man. I can deal with some cold weather. I have lived in Florida for too long where I'm just like, no, I don't, I'm good. I've been inside my house for a few days. It was cold. Moonlight Magic is fine, but look, here's the thing. You're in a park that is in a transition right now.
Yes, that's
it's not bad. It's not, and I don't want to make it sound like it's bad. It's still a fun park to go to, but it's in transition. So some stuff that they normally would have or how the characters are laid out did not happen during Moonlight Magic. But that being said, there's still some surprises and some fun to be had because you can go on Dinosaur, no wait. You could go on Navi River Journey,
well,
no
and
wait.
Get
I rode Everest back to back just without even having to get off the train.
Dude, Everest at night, that is an experience not many people get. I've been to Moonlight Magic before at Animal Kingdom. Good stuff.
It is so good at nighttime. Like that park looks so beautiful. Yes. When the sun goes down, that park is stunning.
Well, that's why
from the way that Everest looks to being on Everest and going all the way to the top and being able to see. Like I live 6 point some odd miles away from Animal Kingdom. You could see almost my house and my neighborhood from at the top there. That's how flat Florida is. Yeah, you could see Epcot. You see the Cinderella Castle. You see Tower of Terror. You can see I-4, the eye from up there. It's amazing what you can see. And then the ride is a little bit more scary in the dark.
Yeah. Well, you're not, when you come out, you don't see where you're headed. And even I think the beginning of it, where it's supposed to be the train ride before things go wrong, is kind of cool in the dark.
It's great in the dark. And especially after you get dropped, where when you see Disco Yeti, right before that big drop it has, you can't see when that drop is coming. So if you're in the back of the car, you're just like, oh.
The image that I have upgrade is Dinosaur
like they had the Society of Explorers were outside of Everest meeting and greeting people. That's really cool to see rare characters like that walking around.
That's really cool.
And I do want to say thank you to Meredith, who normally watches the show.
Yes.
Meredith is a DVC owner, and she invited me out. They had an extra ticket, and I was
Meredith, where you been?
Thought of, so
where you been? I haven't seen you comment in a while. Anyway,
yeah.
I do love the nighttime picture dinosaur because you don't get many nighttime pictures in Animal Kingdom because most people have left and it's usually not dark. Its hours are a little shorter, but yeah, who knows?
Right, it closes at 6 and sunset is at 6:05 around here.
Yes, so there you go.
Yeah,
Animal Kingdom at night.
Pandora. Pandora is being repainted right now with a lot of the glow-in-the-dark paint, so it looks fabulous.
Okay.
Over at the Tree of Life, they're showing
Tree Life Awakening. Is that still happening?
And it happens almost every 20 minutes.
Nice. Very good.
So it's nonstop. There's DJs everywhere. There's popcorn. There's food. There's snacks. There's everything.
I get it.
Living with the Seas turned 40 years old.
The Living Seas or the Seas with Nemo, whatever you want to call it, turns 40 years old or turned 40 years old.
Yeah.
You and I are going to dig deep into this because I have a lot of content when it comes to the Living Seas.
There's a lot to talk about. That's going to be one of our
with John Ritter, dude. Laura Branigan was part of that broadcast.
Did you say John Ritter?
John Ritter was the opening day broadcast. He was like the host when they had their television special on CBS. Laura Branigan was one of the guests, and so was Simon LeBon. That was a cool show. We'll talk about that later.
From Duran Duran?
Yeah, that's Simon LeBon, exactly. But it was not Duran Duran. It was just Simon. He was part of the introduction. I don't know what was going on in 1986 with those guys. Who knows?
I think moving on.
Moving on. You did share an image of the construction of the Living Seas, the aquarium. And when you look at this image, it is a crane hoisting one of the glass panels into place inside of the aquarium. There are construction workers standing on the inside where the track system will eventually be. And then in the aquarium, that thing is huge, dude. It's amazing to see that.
massive, massive, massive. It's like I watched them build like what the world's largest aquarium somewhere because obviously since this opened,
Since this
there's
opened, this
bigger
was the
in the
biggest
world.
in the
This
hemisphere
is
for a
still the
long
biggest
time.
in Florida, right? This is still the
Yes,
largest
well,
tank.
the one that surpassed it was the Georgia Aquarium. That's bigger than
Right,
this.
and they showed how they would make it, and the glass, is still just as thick this many years 40 years later, you still need it just shows you how much pressure
Oh,
is
absolutely.
comes from the water that they're using, and you just
Oh, yeah.
it becomes a little bit more impressive when you see something like this, and,
That's
this
amazing.
was just thank you to Disney Parks.
Yeah, we're gonna deep dive on that later for sure. Let's this week around Walt Disney World, we had some announcements happen.
Yeah.
One of them is regarding an Alice in Wonderland tea party at the Grand Floridian. Is that right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole experience based on Alice in Wonderland at the Grand Floridian. At the Grand Garden View Lounge tea
Yes.
experience.
The Garden
This
View
has been
Tea Room.
closed since 2020, and I know you have
Yes.
more information about this, but I just wanna say
Yeah.
we're looking for reservations. February 19th, reservations open, and the actual Garden View Lounge is gonna open March 19th.
Very cool. The Garden View Tea Room opened shortly after the Grand Floridian opened back in 1988. And it started with really sort of an elegant uh, um, offering fancy teas, sandwiches, scones, dessert with upscale versions that had caviar and some other things. Then in about 2004, they transitioned it into a character theme. So it was Mary Poppins for a little while. There were
Yeah.
a couple of others involved. It didn't run every day. It was one of those things where if you're staying at the Grand Floridian, check their times guide, check the reservation center. You got to call in and find out when they were happening. Most weeks it was dark on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But it sort of ended with the pandemic in March of 2020, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And now it's finally coming back.
I wanna go. I already told Holly I wanna go have, Alice in Wonderland tea. I don't need to be there for opening day, but I wanna go have tea.
Yeah.
I gotta see the price, though. I need to see the price. Let's
Yeah,
be
we're probably
real.
gonna have to wait until I'm pretty sure there's gonna be no AP discounts initially. That would come
No,
later.
for the first year, yeah.
Yeah, that'll come later.
I'm
All
okay with
right.
that. So, moving on.
In some other
Running out
quick news, there is
New
a zoo.
Utopia magnet is
Yes.
coming to Animal Kingdom. It'll be available starting February 2nd over there. Yeah, if you head to fantasylandnews.com, I actually have an image of what the magnet will look like.
It's so new that I missed it to get it into the show tonight.
Yeah, I was sent a picture.
So, Greg, we talked last week about Star
Yeah.
Wars Galaxy's Edge changing the timeline to get more eras of Star Wars into Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. We don't know about Disney World yet.
Don't
So,
know.
what better way to do that, Greg, than to change canon with a couple of comic books that would place these characters that we love in Galaxy's Edge in Batuu? Why not?
I love Disney. I love Disney. I love Marvel. I love being a fan of sci-fi and collecting comic books because
Yes.
this is the stuff that we can do.
Yes,
You didn't like
absolutely.
that? I'm gonna retcon it and rewrite history, and now this is part of history, and that's what we're doing here. Look, they're changing the timeline. We already know that's happening, but you would never see Darth Vader and the Mandalorian in the same place until now.
Well,
'Cause
and we still so a couple of other little things. I know you wrote a lot about this,
Yeah.
which we don't have time to cover now. They're going to be in their own sort of areas. They're not going to intermix. So, like Ray's gonna have a meet and greet, which is going to be over by Rise of Resistance. That's where she's going to be. Luke Skywalker is going to be more around the Millennium Falcon, where Princess Leia and Han Solo will be.
Yep.
And in this image, and Grogu and Mandalorian are going to be in the marketplace primarily. Like
I want to know what
things.
Force phenomenon is.
Yes. So in this image, Greg, we showed last week. I had Darth Vader. Disneyland shared it. It was Darth Vader with two stormtroopers standing in front of Kylo Ren's shuttle, and
Yep.
we both said this would never happen because that's Kylo Ren's shuttle.
Yeah.
This comic book image looks like Kylo Ren's shuttle from a certain angle with maybe some minor modifications, and there's Darth
Straight
Vader
up,
standing right in
that's
front of it.
Kylo Ren's shuttle. Kylo Ren is being booted out of Batu.
I still think, like we talked last week, they could do something where at 10 a.m. and at noon you have a Darth Vader experience there, and at 11 and 2 you can have Kylo Ren. You can
certainly
do
could.
both.
Let's see how this plays out. But yeah,
There's
so
going to be
Marvel
a
Comics,
lot.
it's called Echoes of the Empire. #1 is due out. They're going to have some special covers. Variant covers are going to be available. It's available April 22nd, which is about a week before it opens at the parks. Listen, but there's also small things. The app is going to be updated. Salvy's Workshop is getting a new Legacy Kyber Crystal. The Clone Troopers that are going to be out there running the new shop.
That's new. I've never seen Clone Troopers walking through Galaxy's Edge before. That's new, right?
Yeah. And then the new Mando movie's coming out. So
right. So Mandalorian's going to be around there when the new movie comes out, because it's going to play right into the updates that are happening in Millennium Falcon.
Yep. And we can go on this for hours. So
we can. And the only other thing I want to mention, Greg, because we've talked about it on the show before, I was always the guy that walked into First Order Depot or their store and asked where the relics of the Empire were. I walked in this time. I walked in this trip 2 days ago, and there's a whole bunch of Darth Vader joined the Empire merchandise inside of Galaxy's Edge in First Order transport. They got to change the name of that store. We got Darth Vader in Galaxy's Edge, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Well, that's a whole nother show, too. Epcot Flower and Garden Rocks has dropped. We got our schedule with some new music from the Music of ABBA, Information Society, Firehouse. I might have to go to that one, Greg.
No, really?
I might have to go to that one. Queen's Reich. Come on, 38 special. I'm in. Yeah, Greg.
Sam,
let's move on then.
This is music for women who shop at Target.
I disagree, dude.
I don't disagree. Come on, man. The music of ABBA, fine. It's fun. Everybody will go out there. Simple Plan, like last time I saw them, they didn't even play their one hit. They had one hit. You can't even play the one hit. Blue October.
All right, I'm moving you back to get your mind in the right place, because we're talking about the Muppets. Look.
Oh my God, no! I want to keep talking about that, because that is like, I love music, and I've toured with some amazing bands, and I've worked with some amazing people, and there's a time and a place to call when a show is going to be amazing and when it's not. I Am Tonga is probably going to be, him playing his ukulele and being from Hawaii, probably going to be one of the best shows that Epcot has seen in many years. Okay. And that's the one where I'm like, that's where I need to be to see that. 98 Degrees, all these, like, it's Katrina. She's not even in with the waves. It's just Katrina. What happened to the waves?
I don't know the answer to that. I was
Croce playing Croce as a guy from Philly. I need to see AJ Croce doing Jim Croce songs. I'm cool with that. Queensryche, the last time you had a hit was Jet City Woman in 1904.
That's okay.
Maverick City Music, Plain White Tees, Flock of Seagulls. You know,
Muppets.
Commodores.
Are you ready?
Lionel Richie's not even there.
Muppets 70th. So last week, we talked about the last two. Miss Piggy closed it out, and we said, you know what? We are now starting our Muppets that should have made the list.
Should have made the list.
I went first with number 71, Clifford. That's my call. And last show, we decided we're going back and forth until we run out of them. So the second call is yours. Who is the second Muppet, or Muppet Magnet number 72? Who should have made the list, Greg?
I'm going with Beverly Plume, my friend. The turkey from Muppets Now. This, by the way, this Muppet, we originally saw a turkey show up during the Jim Henson Christmas special.
Yes, the Jim Henson Family Christmas.
Yes, thank you. This turkey is basically that turkey only turned into Beverly Plume and not some guy who sounds like he's from the streets of New York.
And Beverly Plume is a host of a show that the Swedish Chef is on sometimes in Muppets Tonight, right?
Oh, the way she operates with the Swedish Chef in the kitchen, because you expect it's only going to be the Swedish Chef in the kitchen. No, Beverly Plume knows how to cook, my friend. And then she'll just pop up randomly in places. She's in Muppet Haunted Mansion. And she just pops up and says one thing, and she's out the door, and she's great. I love Beverly Plume. I think look, is she a main character? No. Is she a side character? Absolutely. And
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not many main characters.
She should have been on last year's Thanksgiving magnet.
She should have been. There was a turkey, but it was not Beverly Plume.
No.
Would you say that Swedish Chef is a main character?
I would say Swedish Chef is absolutely a main character.
Okay. All right. So Chef has a sidekick. And I love that in this image, there's a rubber chicken in the pot on the stove behind her. Yeah. That is just phenomenal.
There's my pick for this year, this week, Sam. Next week, you are going to be the one picking our.
Yes, I got one for next week. I got a couple in mind, and we'll just keep going.
73.
Yeah, I'm glad that they did not make these magnets. You would have needed a bigger refrigerator.
Behind the scenes, people, what's great is you and I will send each other pictures and be like, what about this Muppet?
Yeah.
Like, I sent you a bunch the other day. I was like, all three of these.
You did. You sent me a bunch, and I thought to myself, this segment's going to go on as long as the 70th did.
I'm cool with it, man. I love it.
All right. Disney Ducks, the Ducks of Disney t-shirt sitting everywhere.
I just like the Walt Disney, the Ducks of Walt Disney shirt that came out last time. I thought this was cute, but it was like,
you got Dumbo as a duck and Pluto's a duck.
Yeah, Tigger's a duck and Daisy, and you know who you don't see? Oh, there is. Okay, Daisy and Donald. The ducks are ducks.
The ducks should be ducks.
Right. You associate ducks with Disney anymore.
Or Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
They're dead ducks. They did something bad.
With that, dude, Gary made the round circle trip from Disneyland.
Whoa, wait. Somebody brought up Jar Jar Binks. I need to stop everything and read this comment. How come Jar Jar not popular for Star Wars? My friend, he is still my second favorite character of all time. He is popular in my house.
This is proof by the Jar Jar Binks hat that has been worn multiple times by Greg and his attempts to acquire a rather expensive Jar Jar prop.
Yeah. One day we'll see. Then I'm going to try and get Ahmad Best to just be on my show all the time. Sam, our goal for this year is to get Ahmad Best.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying. Gary.
I was saying Gary made the trip from Disneyland.
He did. And he's sitting, if you pull up my screen real quick, Sam.
Go right ahead.
You're going to have to do it.
I can do that. I don't see it.
Yeah. Just pull it. Hold on. Let's see. Maximize. There we go. There's Gary right behind. You can see Gary the Snake, Popcorn Bucket, and Gary the Snake is sitting back there.
Oh, hold on. I want to see both these next to each other.
Yeah.
I got my machine is all messed up.
It is.
There we go. Oh, yeah, they're both right there with Tron in the middle. Does Gary fit inside Gary? Did you try that?
No, they do. And they're a little different color, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gary and Gary are back there. And I wish I was sitting on the other side. Like I should be sitting over here. That way you can see Gary and Gary back there. Because Sam, I am grateful that you brought Gary back from Disney. He traveled from Disneyland to Pennsylvania.
You had stop in Nashville on the way.
Nashville, and then he made his way to Disney World, where he hung out for the day.
He did.
And we cast members and people were amazed that it was at Disney World. So
yeah, well,
I appreciate
everybody wanted to know where we found it. Where'd you get that? And I appreciate the trade that was made for me to acquire that, because I was able to pick up the Christmas truck with Mickey and Minnie and the tree in the back with Goofy. So that was a fair trade in my eyes.
Sam, we're out of time, my friend. So as always, everybody.
Oh, almost Scott. Where's Darkwing? Darkwing should be on the shirt. Anyway.
Just make it Ducks of Disney. Ducks of Disney Ducks. The shirt of Ducks of Disney Ducks. How many ducks could you name? How many ducks could we actually?
Can we come up with
ugly duckling? Where's the ugly duckling?
Hold on. Is there a Disney duck? Is there a Muppet duck?
A muck? Wow, Rory. Is there I don't remember a duck.
All right.
There had to be one in the oven somewhere. We do have to go. You can always get Sam. Join us next week, as always, 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Maybe not next week. Maybe.
No, we're good next week. I had times. I was confused by time zones. We're good.
Sam is good on time zones. You can get Sam always at samsdisneydiary.com, Sam's Disney Daily on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching on Sam's Disney Diary on YouTube. You can get me at fantasylandnews.com or Fantasyland News across all social medias and YouTube. And of course, as always, everybody, we appreciate you watching. End of line.
Congaloosh. We'll see you next time.